The Poison Pen Bookstore will soon celebrate its 35th anniversary. The local independent retailer is located in Old Town Scottsdale, but its customer base is global. Joining us to talk about the business is Barbara Peters. She is the Pen's owner. Thanks for coming in. Full disclosure for everyone, I will say I've been a longtime customer, and you were kind enough to launch my debut mystery. So I just want to put that out there so people know I'm a little fangirling.
That's okay. It's all right. Actually, I think it's fun that you are interviewing me instead of the other way around.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. Tell us about when you first opened the store, because it has turned into not what you expected back in 1989.
Well, you have to remember that I opened the store as a hobby. It was never intended to be a business. My husband had said to me, now that you can do whatever you want on my 50th birthday, what is it you're going to do? And I thought it'd be fun to have a bookstore, because I used to be a librarian at the Library of Congress. So we opened it, and downtown Scottsdale in 1989 was almost all art galleries and tourists. And so, like on day 3, I realized that nobody local was going to come in. So I got out a yellow pad and said, sign here and I will write to you. And I have written a newsletter to our customers every month since November of 1989.
Barbara, you were the original Substack. You were Substack.
It's really true. Sort of the original influencer. But now Scottsdale's really changed, and there's a lot of downtown residents. So our new mission is to become more of a community bookstore. I think every independent bookstore needs to reflect its community. We made a conscious decision not to be political. We have a varied staff, and all of us read differently and are different people, but we decided that we would be a place of entertainment and fellowship and conversation, and everybody could come there and feel safe. You've been to a huge number of our events, so you know that that's really true.
You have something like 200 plus author events a year. You've got book clubs, you do other things. I mean, how do you juggle it all? Because you're doing a lot of it.
I do a lot of it, but we have a very dedicated staff. Nobody who works in a bookstore is there for the salary. You know, it's a sort of a mission and fellowship. We're all different, and everybody contributes ideas, including the customers.
And your relationships with authors are very well known in the publishing industry. You know, there are well-known authors who I have heard on more than one occasion say, you know, they started at your store with like maybe 2 people, and you were one of them that showed up.
Very true. Michael Connelly, Don Winslow, all kinds of authors. If you are not in a business for profit, which I am not, although fortunately the business sustains itself, you can afford to take chances that businesses that need to have a bottom line paid attention to cannot. So we were able to host a lot of first-time authors who had no basic sales potential, no audience, but you know, it's kind of become our thing to be a starter. And there are probably 100 best-selling authors currently publishing who did their first event, or we were on their first book tour as a result.
Why is it important for you to support debut authors?
Well, for one thing, if you don't give them a chance, their careers might die. For another, as I realized 35 years into it, I am aging. Remember, I started this on my 50th birthday, so do the math. Lots of best-selling authors today are aging along with me, and at some point, we need new voices. We're going to need new fans to bond to new things. Right now, for example, romantasy has become a huge thing. You know, male thriller authors are sort of weeping on my shoulder at the moment. But it all goes in cycles. Over the course of 35 years, I have seen romance go up, science fiction go down, mystery go up, historical fiction go down. And you need to be nimble to stay ahead of that. But if you don't support new authors, everything's going to get stale. And eventually, there may not be enough good books to read, although I don't really think that's a problem.
What does the next chapter look like for the store and for you?
The next chapter is that I'm giving the store to my staff because, you know, at my age, I have to really think about what the future will be. And I won't have any control over that. And that's a real problem. You know, people who start things, think about Herb Kelleher and Southwest Airlines and all. He wouldn't even know what it is today. I have to let go, and I'm not ready to do that. But when I'm ready, it's going to become their bookstore, and they'll have to chart their own path.
Barbara Peters, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it. Happy early anniversary.
Thank you.
And I'll see you later tonight for an event at the store.
When we're doing yet another book launch.